All right, Eagle Nation, this is Mr. Newell with another senior sit down. Today, I got the fantasy football crew, and this crew, they are on fire, sometimes pushing, shoving. It gets intense, but just so you know who the fantasy football group is, we got Tyler Mills. Where's Mills at? Right there, he's raising his hand. Ogden. We have Nation. Heflin, who's getting a haircut. He missed a senior sit down for a haircut. Give him a hard time next time you see him. August Frankfurt, right there. Kevin Gonzalez, right there. Braden Trott, Evan Wiley, Luke Westerhold, Jack Pining, Matt Lyman, and Braden Early's going to come in at some point throughout this. So we're going to learn a little bit about fantasy football, a little bit about them in the senior sit down, so let's kick it off. So how did this league start? Can somebody tell me a little bit about the history, who started it, what happened, where did it come from?
Sophomore year, some of us just had the idea that we should try to form a league together, and we've definitely changed up the people in it throughout the 2 years, but it stayed a thing.
Stayed a thing 2 years ago. Does your league have a name, and if so, is it still appropriate?
No. It's had multiple names, some being maybe not school appropriate, but at the moment it is just
Thomas Wiley, do you hear your kid?
at the moment it's just the Civic Memorial Fantasy Football League.
Yeah, thanks for cleaning that up for our audience. Parents, you might want to check with your kids tonight on fantasy football names. So who won the league for the last 2 years? Who won it sophomore year?
So I won it last year.
Early won it sophomore year.
And Early won it.
And who's been our two losers?
Matt. Lyman.
I lost last year.
And then
Oh yeah, well,
Matt and Luke. All right. So this year, who's winning? Who's losing? Where are we at?
I
What's
lost
the
my
status?
first game of the season this week by 0.2 points. I was undefeated. I'm the 1 seed currently.
Who's in last place?
That's me. I'm in last place again.
Back to back, baby. Back to back. They don't hang banners for that, but it would be nice if they would.
No, they don't.
All right. Who talks the most junk out there?
Matt.
So I deserve
You're back
one,
to
so-
back and you do the most talking?
Yeah, I deserve it.
Who's the silent, but they make it happen? They don't say a lot.
Right.
Steadily good.
Give Braden Early a round of applause. So where are you currently in the fantasy stats? Are you up, down, somewhere in the middle?
I'm down, but I'm on the come up.
They said before you arrived that you're the second worst at fantasy. Is that true?
Yeah, but not for long.
Any draft, anybody you guys have drafted that would be your biggest regret?
Evan.
I drafted Christian McCaffrey, which has sold my team horribly.
Anybody else?
I drafted Michael Pittman Jr. in the 3rd round.
Who's had the luckiest draft pick so far?
Adam.
In what way? In what way?
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard.
And
I just knew he was on
Robinson
your team
and
this
Alec
year. I felt
Pierce.
confident.
There's also, August has J.K. Dobbins, and August just didn't know that J.K. Dobbins was going to be really good at football. That was complete luck.
That was a lucky one.
All right, so let's get into some of our next questions. Here we go. Somebody tell me their CM next. What are you planning for next year after this high school thing's over with?
I'm gonna go to college and study international business.
International business with a focus in Cologne.
Yes.
Yes. All right, international business. Who else has their next lined out? Knows what they want to do?
I'm going to go to college to study pharmacy.
Pharmacy. That is awesome. Anybody else? Who's next? Come on. Somebody else
I'm
has
going
to
for
know their
astrophysics.
next. Astrophysics.
I'm going to
Criminology.
Criminology. You gonna be arresting people?
No, I'd rather go for like forensic science.
Okay, that's awesome. Who else?
Electrical
I'm going for
Electrical engineering. What?
chiropractor.
Chiropractor. That's awesome.
Finance.
What did you say? Finance.
Yeah.
Finance.
Business finance.
Does anybody been accepted into college? Know where they're going so far? Anybody? Maybe
I got
that-
accepted into Mizzou, but haven't committed or anything.
A tiger?
Yeah.
Is that something you've always wanted?
No, but
How do you think about the Kentucky Wildcats?
okay for them.
Leave my show. Leave my show. Get out of here. All right. Anybody else?
I was accepted into IC.
I see. But are you still thinking about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. Who's a high school teacher that's inspired you?
I'd say Miss P.
Miss P, why?
Miss Parrish. No matter who it is or like who you've been, Miss P will always give you a fist bump. You walk by her in the hallway, she's always saying what's up to you, good morning, good afternoon, always.
Awesome. Great job, Miss P. Who else? Who else? Come on.
Mr. Book.
Mr. Book. Why Mr. Book?
Because you can like talk to him about anything and he'll just be on your side no matter what and trying to help you no matter what.
Awesome. Great job, Mr. Book. Who else? Who else? Come on.
Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown. What's up with Mr. Brown?
He's just a chill guy. I like him.
Chill guy. All right. Same Mr. Brown I know comes flying in my office all the time. He's like, you won't believe what Kevin did today. No, he's chill. He's chill. Who else? Who else speaks? What?
I would say Bradley Gruen.
Bradley Gruen. Tell me about Bradley Richard Gruen.
He's a really good teacher in school and also out of school. He's just a really great person to talk to and sit down.
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
think that Miss Wallace is also.
Miss Wallace is super awesome. Two great teachers. You guys all mentioned great people here. So now we're going to do a throwback to elementary. Who's an elementary teacher that comes to mind? I'm just going to like go right down and you're going to tell me an elementary person. Mills, I don't think you went here elementary years, right? But you can still throw somebody out. Here we go.
Mrs. Barty.
Miss Barty.
Miss Phillips.
Miss Phillips.
Mrs. Buckley.
Mrs. Buckley.
Miss Cooper.
Miss Cooper.
Miss Cooper.
Miss Cooper.
Miss Heflin.
Miss Heflin.
I lived in St. Louis.
Evan lived in St. Louis. Apparently they didn't have teachers because he couldn't name one. That's why he's here today, going in international business, and he doesn't like the Wildcats. All right.
In American education, I taught with Miss Williams, and she's really nice.
Awesome. Great answer.
Didn't go to CM, but Mr. Macklin.
What?
Didn't go to CM, but Mr. Macklin.
Okay, Mr. Macklin.
Miss Cooper.
Miss Cooper.
It's Miss Wesley.
Miss Wesley. Man, Cooper got 3 of these. All right. Does anybody have a senior confession they want to do right now that's appropriate for school, of course? Anybody got a senior confession? You need to get it off your shoulders right now.
Freshman year, when that overhang was by the cafeteria, I used to love throwing things at people. It's so entertaining. But then sophomore year, I saw that the wall got covered.
All right.
I saw that the wall got covered, and I was
I
heartbroken.
probably just okay, we did that. That's called the mill wall.
I would say another senior confession I have is the time Miss Newell thought I cut the lunch line, and I told him I didn't, and they stayed and checked the cameras, but I guess he never did because I cut that whole lunch line.
Mr. Buck, lunch detention on prop. Who else? I'm sorry, I'm yelling a lot, Mr. Piper. All right, who else? Yes.
I said I was sick, but realistically, I just wanted McDonald's.
Good choice. Anybody else?
I've told teachers that my power went out just to get an extension of homework dates.
What was that homework assignment? Was that your leaf project?
No, I didn't have that.
Okay. All right. So let's keep on rocking and rolling. Somebody tell me an embarrassing moment that's happened at high school. Something embarrassing. So everybody's like, what's an example? Like every time I walk up the stairs, I fall for some reason. I don't know what it is about our steps. Anybody else?
Freshman year, I was walking down to study hall. And there was a bottle on the stairs, and I slipped on the bottle and kicked 2 senior girls in the back, and that was bad.
You remember who those senior girls were?
Yeah, it was Kelby Zupan.
Okay. Did she give you the stink eye?
Yeah, she turned around and like yelled at me, and then like walked. So that's embarrassing.
Awesome. Anybody else? Come on, I know there's some others.
I don't know in school.
Oh, it was kind of throughout a long time, but I had a pretty diabolical haircut.
You know what? I remember that sophomore haircut. We all talked about it in the office for a while.
That's great.
All right, that's great. Anybody else? Embarrassing moment.
I don't think so.
All right, let's keep going here. Anybody have a favorite memory? It's kind of the flip side. Like, what's the memory that sticks out when you think about high school?
Winning musical chairs 2 years in a row.
Musical chairs 2 years in a row. What else?
I think like freshman year when our football team went to playoffs, I thought that was pretty fun.
Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. All the way to Quincy. Felt like I needed to use the bathroom about 2 hours out. That was the bumpiest ride ever. Just for everybody. We made it though. Anybody else? Favorite memory?
Going to sectionals for golf for 3 years.
Sectionals to golf. Yeah. What else?
Color Wars is juniors. Definitely, I feel like I was way more hyped than senior year just because junior year we were not supposed to win. I think that made it so much more fun to win.
First back-to-back champions. You guys could have lost.
Yeah.
This year, if the juniors would not have lost twice to the freshmen, you would have lost.
Yeah.
That's how close the math was. All right, little lightning round here. I'm going to start, and then you're going to have to name that person or that thing. Here we go. This is the lightning round. Luke, we're going to start with you. I gave them the questions ahead of time, so if they stumble, it's on them. All right, here we go. Funniest teacher.
Callie's.
Mr. Meyer. Mr. Brown.
Meyer.
Mr. Brown.
Probably Miss Walls.
Mr. Brown.
Callies.
Meyer.
Brown.
Meyer.
Wallace.
I joke with her, so.
She jokes. Wallace, I didn't know you had it in you. I'm excited. That is awesome.
I don't have anyone in my chemistry class, so all I do is just mess with Miss Wallace, and I think it's pretty funny.
Mrs. Wallace is shaking her head right now. How she does it. She's shaking her head. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Okay, strictest teacher, but we're going to start this way and move our way over. So the question is strictest teacher. Here we go.
Ooh, I don't even know. We don't really have a lot of strict teachers, but I don't know, actually. I don't think I have one.
I gave him the questions ahead of time. There we go. Mag.
I don't know. I would say Schneider, but he's a good guy.
That doesn't mean they're not a good guy. That just means they run a tight ship, people. There's two different things there. That just means they're really structured, you know.
Mag and Mr. Young.
That does not mean that they're mean or anything like that. It just means when you come in, like I always think, Michelle Rogers, I love you, but you run a tight ship, man. There's no messing around when you walk into Rogers, right? She loves you all, but she's strict. Yeah.
Mag and Young.
Mag and Young.
Mrs. Brittany Clark.
Mrs. Brittany Clark. I see that. I see that.
I would probably say Schneider.
Schneider.
Miss Clark.
Miss Clark.
Schneider.
Schneider.
Snyder.
Schneider.
Mr. Young.
Young.
Mr. Young.
Mr. Young. All right, that's what I'm talking about. They're killing me here. Killing me. All right, so if you got in trouble, what parent would you want to call first?
Mom.
So you get in trouble at school. I'm sending you out of school. Who do you want me to call?
Mom.
Mom.
Dad.
Dad.
Mom.
Mom. Really? I thought Steve would be the easier one.
I would say.
He's still disappointed me, so.
Okay. You'd be disappointed. Like it.
Dad.
Dad.
Tom.
Tom.
My dad.
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 My mom.
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 Dad.
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 Dad. All right. Who thinks they have the meanest of all parents out of this group? The GOAT parent.
August.
August.
You think
Yeah,
Eric
it
would be the
depends.
strictest?
Yeah.
You think that's the admin in him?
He just has to walk
Yeah.
You're scared.
What happened here?
I was in the pantry, locked in the pantry.
I locked him in the.
You locked him in the pantry?
And I was like banging on the door saying, "Let me
That was
out."
a fan- that
And I
was a
get
fantasy
out and
draft
everything's
day.
fine, but then everyone's just staring at me, and I like turn around and Eric's just.
That was a fantasy draft day sophomore year. That was fantasy draft day sophomore year.
All right, this is great. This is great. All right, worst driver. Mills, what happened?
I've been in a few slight accidents.
Mailbox.
Back to a car with the backup.
Who out of your friends is most likely to be famous?
I would say
Evan. Everybody, Evan. Who will be the first married out of your friend group?
Rod. That's
For
what-
real?
Yeah.
What's going on, Brad? I didn't know you were getting married, so. All
I'll be married to Angry Nation tomorrow.
right. So here we go. This is a good one. So when you think of the INRIs, like student you look up to, you think they do all that stuff: respect, intent, self-control, and excellence. Who do you think is the INRIs? This doesn't have to be in your. This doesn't have to be in your friend group either. Like this is somebody that you just want to let them know that you think they're really good for what they do. That could be volunteering. It could be anything of that.
The king himself.
I'd say August.
Our king.
August.
What makes August the INRIs?
He's a good boy.
He's like the
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah,
he's the
he
perfect
is
guy.
perfect.
the golden child.
Yeah.
Awesome. Way to go. There we go. Not going to ask you the opposite of INRIs. All right, so here we go. What does pound the stone or all in mean to you? Somebody give me a definition.
Gambling. No.
Next! Who else?
To work as hard as you can.
Yeah.
To work
Try your
as hard
best.
as you
Try
can.
your best.
Try your
All the time.
best.
Be the best you can.
Yeah.
Best. Do you know any senior who do you think started here as a freshman? You really think they've improved themselves? You're like, man, they've grown so much. That could be athletically, academically. You're like, man, they've pounded
Mills.
for you.
Mills.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Great job. All right, anything else? You want to do a shout out before we bring this to a close? Any idea on what group I should interview next?
Shout out Royal Flush Fragrances on Instagram so you can buy a bunch of cologne for cheap.
Are you going to fix me up?
Yes.
All right, there we go. What is the top cologne right now?
I mean, probably, as of right now, Strong With You Intensely.
Who makes that?
Giorgio Armani.
Giorgio Armani. Have you sold it to all of them?
I've sold a decent amount.
Does it work for them?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
they
Some
probably
of
got hot days.
Some of them. All right. So what group should I interview next?
I would say Queen
Candidates.
Queen candidates, you are up next week. This has been great. You guys know how we're going to bring this to a close, right?
Go Eagles.
Have a great afternoon, and remember, go Eagles!